Please remember to support Mission4Tution by hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, and turning on notifications. Hi, welcome to another edition of TFT Hyperroll, and what I hope is something you can watch and help you learn this a little bit better so you can be a better player. This match started off with me picking up a Kled off the board and then very quickly deciding to go Hellion because I got the Shadow Bow and I was able to get 3 silver Helions by the time we went into the first PvP round. The reason that Shadow Bow means so much is because a Shadow Bow and a spatula makes an additional Hellion. So I now have the chance to get 7 Helions. Also, the fact that I picked up 2 Cavaliers before we even entered the first PvP round gave me a lot more confidence because I could play the Hellion Cavalier combo, which makes Kled much, much stronger. And if I can get to 7 Helions, to have Kled with a highly increased attack speed along with damage resistance is going to make him unstoppable. Here I pick up a needlessly large rod because I'm thinking about cannon. Cannon's best item is more Melicon, and I already have a Giant's Belt on Kled, so if I can get another silver Kled, I could sell that one, take the needlessly large rod, and then put it on Cannon along with the Giant's Belt to create a Morellonomicon. Now, one of the keys with playing Hellion is to just keep rolling early. There is no advantage to holding 10 gold in your account in Hyperroll because there's no interest. So you might as well roll down, especially when you're going for one cost like Hellions. Also, Hellions will do very well early if you have enough of them on your team, because when they die, they just come back from the dead. This does seem to upset some other players. As you will see, this person said that if I run Helion, my dad beats me. I actually beat my dad at this game. Now this is a key moment because I get the spatula. This spatula is going to allow me to make another character into a Hellion. Since I already have one on the board, I just choose Sejuani as the one I'm going to use at this moment. And then continue rolling to see what other Hellions I can get. With now myself up to 5 Hellions, they're getting an additional attack speed buff, which is giving me a chance to pretty much win, especially in these early rounds. As you can see, they're not even able to completely take out all of my first round Hellions. And at this point, I'm continuing to just pick up anything I can as I go. Concentrating a little bit more on the Cavalier buff until I get a silver Lulu. Then it's probably time to change them out. The reason I picked up the BF sword here is to create something I like to in this, which is when I'm doing a Cavalier buff, I like to make Kled as strong as possible. So putting an Infinity Edge on Kled, which I create here using Gragas, will make Kled's attacks more powerful, especially since once he falls off his mount, it increases his attack damage. So as you will see, he starts quickly tearing through the opponent's teams with his increased attack speed and critical hits. I'm still pretty much running 0 gold because I'm rolling every chance I get. I'm 1 poppy away from gold. And I've also now picked up 2 silver Sejuanis, 1 on the board and 1 sitting on my bench. And the thought that I might be able to get a gold Sejuani is out there, which would be really nice since she's the one I turned into a Hellion. In addition, you'll notice I get very lucky. And with only a small percentage chance, I get my Teemo very early to make 7 Hellions. I quickly use an additional spatula that I picked up to give Teemo the Spellweaver buff, which will combine with Zig's Spellweaver ability, making Teemo even stronger. I then put on the Hextech Revolver, and Teemo is all set to do a lot of damage. And just as an added little bonus, stick the Chalice of Power on Lulu and put her right in between. And of course a Sunfire Cape for Kled, because I don't have much else to do at that point. That little extra buff on Teemo, along with the healing that the Hextech Revolver supplies, makes him even stronger than usual. Here, I simply grab the sparring gloves with not many other good choices and throw it on the Ziggs to just create a hand of justice. I sell one of my Kleds to make a gold poppy because it's become pretty clear to me I'm not going to get another silver Kled. My chances are down to 19% of rolling a 1, so to get additional Kleds would be difficult. But with Teemo providing a large amount of the damage on our team, we are very quickly running through the competition. It's time to pick up Rel, who's going to be our 4th Cavalier when we have the option to go to 4, which will be after level 8. And we are still rolling like crazy here because we haven't picked up a silver cannon, which could be a downfall later on, because we need all of our Hellions to at minimum be silver. But with Teemo doing this much work from the back line, I'm very difficult to beat, even with an Abomination. We silver up our Rel. And now I'm starting to think about positioning and how everything's going to work in the end. I bring Poppy back down because the person who is the closest to me is, of course, Gorilla Taint, who was very angry at seeing a Hellion combo at all. And I see that he's aimed directly at my Teemo, so I bring down some of my Cavaliers and my Poppy to be some protection. I didn't really need to worry though, because Teemo is just doing so much damage and seems to be unable to be killed at this point from the healing, that things are getting bad. With another Teemo out there, I'm beginning to think about the possibility of getting that silver Teemo, and I've now completed my Cavaliers for the full buff. At this point, I'm only looking for a couple of things. More Sejuanis to maybe get that gold Sejuani, one more Teemo, one more cannon. And I will roll every opportunity until I get what I'm looking for. And now I have my silver Teemo. I got an additional Spellweaver that I just threw on Rel because why not? It wasn't going to do any additional good. This is the other Hellion in the game who is quickly dispatched. And as you can see, Teemo is doing a large amount of the damage here. And it comes down to me against Gorilla Taint, who was so angry at the fact that he was facing a Hellion build to begin with. I switch up my Ziggs and Teemo just in case Diana manages to get a jump in the back line. That way I keep Teemo safe and able to continuing pouring out damage. With the huge damage buff and the healing though from that Hextech Revolver, there's really not too much to worry about, as again, Teemo does the majority of this damage. I quick check and notice that they've switched their entire team to the other side, so I just flip mine over to make sure I have Teemo in the opposite corner so that he doesn't get jumped or hit by anyone and has the maximum amount of time to do as much damage as possible. And if I can win this one, I will have gotten through this entire game without losing a single round. And yes, there was a huge amount of luck involved picking up Teemo in 7-1 and getting the right items and turning him to a silver. But that's the victory, and of course, Gorilla Taint is not happy about it and thinks I need a shower.